Okay, so now we're moving on to the core ship itself. And as this is the first part of the manual, shows is building up the front part of the fuselage. Excuse me, I said fuselage, hull. So it uses diesel charcoal parts, which is basically, I guess, the spine of the ship. And this is the front section, which we'll show soon. So you want to make sure that you'll see that how it looks. This is a bigger notch, and this is a smaller notch. The smaller notch will go in the front, and then one will go here, like so. Just want to make sure I have it right. Yeah, actually, yeah, like that. So one will go there, and the other one will go here, and one will go here, and the other will go there. Now, I think it doesn't really matter in what position you are in, as long as you have these little notches facing that way, that way, that way, because it has to be in that position. Now, I've been sanding down the parts where I cut the sprue. Bandai was wise enough to put it at the tips here, but then they did it here, so I was sanding those down. I was using 400 grit paper, and then using this little thing, I was sanding those down as well. I'm gonna probably use the paper as well. I wanted to use this, but I had a feeling that I may wipe off some of the detail that's on this, so I gotta be careful with that. So from here on in, we put this little part here. This is also something that I sand to the sides. It really doesn't matter what position you want it on, as long as you get it in there. It pretty much keeps the part in place. And then this detail, which took me was pretty much a hassle to do, I was able to sand it down, and that one goes in there. See, like here, there's notches there that I had to sand down softly and carefully, and to make sure that I covered all the parts, or make sure there's no scars, I use sticky tack, put it on like that, and then visually inspect it and see if there's something there that shows. If it does, I'll review it again one more time just to make sure. But the front section of the ship is now complete. Let's now move on to the next. Alright, so the next stage is the middle part of the hull. And this part here, which is also for the spine, continuing with the spine, you need to put this one in first. So just find the guide, and it goes all the way in like so. And then this one, same thing, goes, find the entrance point, there we go, and put it in like that. Now, take a look. As you can see, it's supposed to be like that, where this one is in the cross, this one is like in the plus sign, and then this one is in the cross sign. And then we have this part here that goes in like that. Now, this part here, there's a little notch here that I began sanding a little bit down, but not too much, because I want to conform this. And there's a notch here that I scraped off, but this one will be covered with a part. So we're going to put on the clear parts here. So one goes like that in here. Then the other goes in here. Should be able to snap it in like so, so they look like this. And what done it on 1, 2, 3 of these already. So there's 4 of them done. So according to this, in this position, we put one here, here, and there. Take this one, put one here, here, and there. Take this part here, put this one here, here, and then this one here and here, until it's nice and snug, I think. Oh no, you know what, I apologize. There's a guide on this, so let's pull it out. Yeah, there's a notch here so you can put it on. That should guide you in. Yeah, so this one goes like that. Alright, now we got it. And then we have this part that goes through here. Nice, right? Very good detail. The last 2 pieces, of course, would be this little trim part here. And it goes like that. And then this little blue part. And if you align it right, goes like that. Alright, so that completes that. And we'll move on to the next stage of the build. So the next part of the build will be the remaining portions of the hull over here in the back. And with this part here, you find the groove. Actually, you want to make sure that it's in a position where I think it has to be like this, where it's like a hexagon shape like that, and then take this part and put it in like so. Once that's there, you take this, put this through here till it goes all the way in like that, then put that in here like so, so it looks like that. So that completes this section of the ship. Now we have these little sections here, and this comes with this little charcoal thrust intake that goes here, so it looks like this. And then put them in like so. Now there is a part that I did not put on this. I'll show it to you in a moment once I finish putting these. Be careful how you put them in. You don't want to snap the peg. There we go. So that goes there. This goes there. And then this one goes here. So it looks like that. Now there are these little notches here, and that is because for these little red trim parts here. I'm not putting them on. I'm going to clean them up, of course, but I'm going to put them in trays, or in like reversible tape, because they're going to be painted. So it wasn't wise for me to actually put this in there and then just so I can cover them up and then paint the whole thing and then cover the remaining parts just so I can paint it red. I might as well paint it red and then put them on either way. I do know for the fact that I may have to clean up inside a bit, because sometimes those paint parts don't go through if it's too many layers of paint, but you never know. The last part, of course, is these little parts here that put them in like so. And there's a part here that I had to sand down. I don't know how well it came out. It looks okay, but maybe once I'm going to review them again. But let me put them on. I'm going to review them again, and then if I have to re-sand them down, I'll do it. Hopefully I don't have to sand down the whole thing. What was tough was these little parts here, which of course I had to sand down the edges here on each side, and I'm saying to myself, why didn't Bandai just put the, didn't put the connection of the nub through here? Then that way all they do is snip off the end. I guess maybe they didn't think about it, or maybe during the molding process it didn't look right, so they had to do it this way. Of course, looks like these things are going to pop out easily. I'll put them on for now, and then I'll glue them in a few moments. Oh yeah, these things are going to pop. You know what? I'm going to glue them right now. Where's my glue? Hang on a second. Here we go. Extra thin cement works wonders. I have thicker cement, but for something like this should be fine. That way these things don't fly out. I'm putting this together. I did mention before they could have easily made the other ship that we showed before with the extra the extra fuselage, making it bigger and more badass. I wonder if Bandai will do like extra parts to put on your ship, kind of like what they did with the 1/500 scale Yamato, where they gave you extra parts to put on the wings and the fighter bay. Well, who knows? Who knows? So put this here, like so. And this is the same issue here. You see these red parts as well. I could glue this, but I have a feeling I'm going to be removing this part just so I can paint the inside of that. We'll leave it alone for now. But yeah, this section of the ship is now complete. Alright, let's now move on to the next part of this build.